Ruby Frank case. Jailhouse calls show how Frank turned against Hildebrandt, as both women blamed the devil for their arrests. On the day after she was arrested in August for aggravated child abuse, Ruby Frank complained about her emaciated son and daughter being hospitalized, calling it weird, not necessary, and objecting that authorities were trying to exaggerate this. In another phone call the next day, she added, "The most upsetting thing is that I am completely misunderstood." And she defended Jody Hildebrandt, in whose Ivans home the children had been staying. And poor Jody, they misinterpret her, they misunderstand her. She puts her neck out on the line for people, and they get mad at her. But months later, Frank seemed to have turned against her former business partner, saying on a call on December 28, the day Hildebrandt entered a guilty plea, that she knew she was lying the whole time. Recordings of calls made by Frank and Hildebrandt were released Friday by the Washington County Attorney's Office, along with videos, a journal, and other documents. The calls reveal some of what the two women told people from Purgatory Correctional Facility near Street George between their August arrests and their sentencing in February to at least 4 years prison time each. Frank and Hildebrandt were arrested for aggravated child abuse after police said Frank's 12-year-old emaciated son escaped Hildebrandt's home on August 30 and asked a neighbor for help. Responding officers soon found Frank's 10-year-old daughter also malnourished inside Hildebrandt's home. Hildebrandt, in her phone conversations, often referred to God and the devil. "I woke up," she said in a call recorded on October 18, "and the Spirit told me, it's all the devil." And in a call recorded on February 5, just over 2 weeks before the women were sentenced, Hildebrandt quoted the Bible, Mark 13:12, "Now the brother shall betray the brother to death, and the father the son, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death." Hildebrandt told the person at the other end of the phone call, "That statement right there is what's going on with me." The Franks talk after the arrest. The 10 recordings released Friday are brief. One with Frank lasts nearly 20 minutes. The rest range from 40 seconds to about 7 minutes. Often the brevity is a result of Purgatory's automated phone system cutting off calls after a set time limit. Some recordings also were redacted. The first two, chronologically, were recorded on August 31 and September 1, just 1 and 2 days after the arrest, between Ruby and Kevin Frank, who were separated at the time. Largely they talk about practical matters, like how Frank had asked Kevin to cosign a loan so Frank could buy a house, maybe to use as an heirloom or to rent out, to earn some money during the couple's separation. Frank also mentioned putting money in a bag, and Kevin asked if the police took the bag. "I don't know what the police took," she replied. "I have a feeling we might need that money," Kevin said. On the August 31 call, after Kevin told Frank that their son and daughter would likely be hospitalized for 3 days, she responded, "So weird. It's just not necessary. They're trying to exaggerate this. This is a witch hunt," she added. "The devil's been after me for years." On the call the next day, Frank described the sound of other inmates in the Purgatory jail as upsetting. "But the most upsetting thing is that I am completely misunderstood," Frank continued. "That is the most horrible feeling. Like my own family misunderstands me, they misinterpret me. And poor Jody, they misinterpret her, they misunderstand her. She puts her neck out on the line for people, and they get mad at her. It is horrendous." She cited Joseph Smith, founder of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, saying that every wonderful man of God has had to be misunderstood. She expressed confidence that "I'm going to get out of this. Who knows? Maybe in 10 days I'll get out of this, if truth prevails right now. Or, who knows, like in 20 years? I don't know. I don't know how long." Kevin told Frank in the September 1 call that he was on his way to a hearing where custody of the children might be discussed. Kevin said his attorney, who he said has 35 years' experience, told Kevin that even if Frank is acquitted and released, they will place legal restrictions on your access to the under-18 children. Frank offered to give Kevin full custody of their house and promised that she would stay away if it meant Kevin could have the children live there with him. "Satan has taken everything away from me that I love," Frank said, through tears and sniffles. "And I'm a good woman. I don't do naughty things. I don't do naughty things. I'm a really good girl." Ruby Frank case. Jailhouse calls